Hey everybody, Tim Miller from the Bulwark here. The president is 12, and everyone in the White House that works for him pretty much also is acting like they're 12. I wanted to do a little video on this Saturday, putting together a couple of the recent trolls that the White House has done. It is in homage to Patrick Cosmos, who had one of the hot social media posts of the moment going around, which goes like this. Working on a new unified theory of American reality, I'm calling everyone is 12 now. And I'm not sure if everyone is 12 now, but our White House surely is. And I don't know about you. I guess some people want to have a 12-year-old in the White House. We did the video today, which you have to go watch, with Harry Sisson, who is the young Democratic influencer that Trump posted a video of himself shitting on Harry while he was protesting. Because that's what the president does now. Instead of honoring the First Amendment and people want to speak out, he does AI defecations on people who are just peacefully protesting, exercising their fundamental American First Amendment right. So we talked to Harry about this over there, and you should go check that out. But it isn't just the AI video of Harry, right? Trump has now done a number of things I want to go through. There are the DHS videos that we've talked about, and now he's updated the White House website. And before I show you this, I just want to say, just bluntly, I like a sense of humor. I want to have a president that has a sense of humor. Both Bush and Obama had great senses of humor. Really, both of them made me laugh from time to time. There's nothing wrong with joshing around, showing that you're a human. So I want leaders that are judicious, but also self-aware enough that they can make and take a joke. That's not what we're getting here. We're getting 12-year-olds. And I don't want a 12-year-old running the country. Some people do. Some people are very excited about the AI videos and these trolls I'm about to show you. Some people are giddy about having 12-year-olds run things. They don't care. They get a kick out of Trump saying, oh, he just wants to kill people in the Caribbean. They get a kick out of the haphazard way in which these guys are governing. They get a kick out of the fact that he's like a big boy up on the truck and just wants to watch buildings go boom, boom. Like, some people like that, apparently. Not me. Not me. I think that we should probably be led by somebody that is not 12. That's my take. Possibly controversial. I don't know. Because it seems like there are a bunch of people. Well, there are a bunch of people who are excited about having a 12-year-old run things. There's another group of people who don't really care. And so maybe it's incumbent upon us to just like drive home just how 12 they are. And so I want to do that right now. Here first is the White House website. They put this up basically as some spin to push back on Jonathan Last's take on the East Wing and how what they're doing is irresponsible and wrong and unlawful and outside the spirit of how we treat buildings of this nature in a liberal democracy. And their argument is basically people have made changes to the White House all the time. And so they go through this timeline. Again, this is not, I just want to say up front, this is not particularly compelling because like the timeline begins with like building the White House and expanding it, not tearing things down. And then you get into a bunch of changes that are pretty mild. And then you get into their trolls. So we'll just go through here. You know, it's the War of 1812 they have on here and how we had to rebuild after that. The addition of South Portico, addition of the West Wing in 2002, thanks to Theodore Roosevelt, addition of the Oval Office, William Howard Taft did that, addition of the Rose Garden, that was Woodrow Wilson, 1913. Addition of the East Wing, we've talked about this a fair amount. Eleanor Roosevelt was key to this. This was during the FDR administration. And then I knew that there had been a reconstruction during the Harry Truman administration. This is kind of interesting, just like the degree to which he changed the inside of the White House and then added, of course, the famous Truman balcony so that presidents can go outside, get some fresh air without, being in danger of getting sniped. Addition of the briefing room of Nixon. So you get up to 1973 here, and it's all a pretty straightforward recitation of the history. I'm sure we could get Doris Kearns Goodwin or somebody on here to maybe nitpick the way they frame some of the stuff, but generally speaking, it's pretty straightforward up to 1973. Then you get to Bill Clinton, and they add something that has nothing to do with updating or changing the White House. They just talk about how he got a blowjob from Monica Lewinsky in the Oval Office, which did actually happen, which is kind of different than some of these other things. Then next, it moves forward to 2012. It has Obama hosts members of the Muslim Brotherhood, and then it shows this picture of Obama not in the White House. This is from one of the trips he wrote about in Dreams from My Father. Again, so like if they were playing this straight, again, it would be still a BS argument, but you would include here like Obama putting in the basketball court, right? They don't do that. They do some Barack Hussein Obama race baiting here. And the facts of this, what it's worth, is that some members of the Muslim Brotherhood did meet some members of the Obama NSC. This was a follow-on to the Egyptian Revolution during the Arab Spring. And so, they're trying to figure out how to be mediators and negotiate in the region. I mean, Donald Trump has MBS, who murdered a journalist, wrote for an American outlet, coming to the White House like next month. Donald Trump wanted to meet with the Taliban at Camp David, like personally. Donald Trump just rolled out the red carton for Putin last week. He's a killer. Obama didn't meet with the Muslim Brotherhood. Members of his team did. That's why this is not a picture of the White House, the picture of Obama from a younger part of his life where they're trying to do racist anti-Muslim shit. Then they mentioned the tennis pavilion Melania put in, and then they attack Hunter. They say cocaine discovered. I don't have any reason to believe this is actually Hunter's cocaine. Who the hell knows? But there's cocaine in the White House. And then they do the Trans Day of Visibility. This is a big thing in right-wing media that the Trans Day of Visibility happened to land on Easter. And one year they had a Transgender Day of Visibility event at the White House. And then they do the big polls that Trump put in, overcompensating. And then they mention Trump's other renovations, including the Oval Office renovations. Look, these people are 12. Like, this is embarrassing. This is the White House, right? This is the White House. Like, well, we're talking about 12-year-olds. So if you're 12, you're in like sixth grade, give or take. And so I mean, sixth graders go to whitehouse.gov. Like, sixth graders go to do research here if they're given a paper. Maybe some of them, just because of what's happening with the East Wing, maybe some of them were given an assignment that's like, hey, do a paper on the White House or do a paper on, the monuments in D.C. And so they might come to the whitehouse.gov and go to the major events timeline. And it's like, you see this picture of Hunter Biden smoking in the bathtub and talking about his cocaine. Like, it's just so childish. Like, aren't these the people that like didn't want kids to have to read about, gay penguins? Like, they want students who are trying to, like, that's the kind of people who are coming to this website. Students, foreigners, people who are trying to learn. And this is what you're getting. You're getting fake news about Obama. You're getting racist shit. You're getting these trolly pictures of Hunter Biden. It's just so childish and embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. And the fact that people aren't more mad about this, I think circles us back to the original tweet, which is that everybody in America is 12. Not us, but a lot of people. I want to talk about one other thing while I got you, because this also bugged me. I've been doing a number of videos on these DHS propaganda videos that are, I don't say this lightly. I do think that sometimes like white nationalism and white supremacy gets like thrown around willy-nilly a little bit in ways that are actually probably harmful to the cause of racial equity. Another video on that probably, but I just think that when you're making such a serious charge, the charge should be backed up by like very real evidence. I just don't know what else to call the DHS videos and memes that they put out besides white nationalism. I mean, they just constantly put out these like memes of 1950s America featuring white families talking about how we're going to protect the homeland and we're going to protect our stock and, all this blood and soil nonsense. And then they put out these videos that are like snuff films featuring immigrants and migrants and brown people and the way that they're being manhandled and mistreated. It is really horrible. And the recent video, and we can only play a little bit of it. I'll explain why afterwards. Was it's titled "End of the Dark Age, Beginning of the Golden Age," and it uses a song from a band I like, MGMT. The song's called "Little Dark Age." Let's play. Okay, so MGMT complained, and obviously they don't want to be associated with this. Interestingly, in an interview a couple years ago, they said the point of the song, Little Dark Age, they wrote it in 2016, and you don't have to really read through the lines about what they were talking about. Like, they were talking about how we are entering a little dark age with Trump taking over the presidency. And so for Trump to co-opt that, and the DHS to co-opt that and use it, again, for another one of these snuff films, like featuring like the ICE agents and federal agents like attacking protesters and shooting pepper balls and, you know, wearing these gas masks and going into our cities. It's sick. It's sick. It's sick. It's what 12-year-olds would do. It's what fucking psychotic 12-year-olds would do. And they think it's funny. You can tell they think it's funny because they put in some pictures of of the people in the animal costumes getting gassed. And, you know, it's just, to me anyway, I look at, on the substance, I look at this video and I think we are in a dark age now. Like, they have this wrong. Like, this is not a golden age. This, government agents firing at peaceful protesters in the streets, chaos, mass chaos, all for an effort to deport people, many of whom are here just trying to live a life, trying to feed their kids. It is childish and noxious and grotesque. And I'm happy that MGMT pushed back on them. And, you know, if they want to do propaganda, if they want to do dystopian agitprop, I don't know, get Kid Rock to do it, or one of the 3 musicians that actually likes you. So that's that. Everyone might be 12. The president in the White House and our Department of Homeland Security is definitely 12. And that ain't great. That ain't great. You know, maybe we should have a 27-year-old. 35. 35 was the age constitutionally. So maybe we should aim for people who are like, have the maturity of a 35-year-old as well in the White House in the future. You know, presuming we get that opportunity. That's something to think about. All right, guys, subscribe to this feed. I appreciate all very much. Oh, if you're wondering, I'm not trying to grow a beard. I just got lazy today. It's the weekend, doing a little weekend content for you guys, and I didn't want to shave. So there you go. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.